Oh, hey, King. I heard you were looking for an LPVO. Well, look no further. Old Dad's got you. Welcome back. You are watching 110 SAS Actual, high tier LPVO Battle Royale. We have gathered Schmidt Bender, we have Nightforce, Kahles, Leupold, March, and Vortex, the absolute very best LPVOs on the market, gathered here for your viewing and informational pleasure. I will get your eyes behind the glass and get you an in-depth look at each optic and give to you a virtual test drive of the glass on screen today. We're going to look at the durability of each optic, the 1-power eye box and the field of view that it does display, the glass quality, brightness, clarity, and light gathering ability, the reticle, the turrets, the cost to your billfold, and overall value the optic adds to your kit and ability. So go on and click that little subscribe button. You've earned it. Now, a low-powered variable optic is a piece of kit that has a typical magnification range of 1 to 6, 1 to 8, and 1 to 10. LPVOs have exploded in popularity in the firearms community over the past few years, and for a great reason. It's an incredibly versatile optic. Run and gun with it, just like it's a red dot sight on 1-power magnification. Crank it up to max power magnification to PID and make much more precisely aimed shots. Today, our feature, the Schmidt Bender Short Dot Dual CC, a 1 to 8 power magnification optic with a dual focal plane reticle. The Schmidt Bender will be the final entry into LPVO Battle Royale. So let's get into some of the details. The Dual CC weighs in at 22.5 ounces and is 11.5 inches long. The scope tube size is 30 millimeters with an eye relief of 3.54 inches. It has a very impressive field of view of 115.8 feet at 100 yards on base magnification. The Dual CC has two options for reticle choice, the MDR and the MDR T6. The MDR is your more traditional crosshair with your elevation and your windage holds. The MDR T6 is what we have featured in this video today, which I like to call the tactical Christmas tree reticle. It has ample information on the reticle, including 6 mils of windage and elevation holds. The Dual CC is the most expensive optic in the lineup that we have, so let's take a little bit closer of a look. On the left side of the optic, you have your illumination dial. You have your elevation and windage turrets here on the top and the right. Moving to the rear, you have your magnification throw lever and your diopter. The magnification dial, it has almost a serrated ring all the way around it. It's actually really nice, keeps a good solid grip on it. The throw itself is very smooth and very easy to use. I don't have to struggle and fight and beer can grip this thing to get it over to max magnification or back to base power. The diopter adjustment has the same kind of ring on it. Moving over to your elevation and windage dial, you have 0.1 mil adjustments per click. Each turret is exposed, which I do like because you can always see what dope you have dialed. Both turrets have a locking system, either push or pull to unlock or lock your turret. While the actual locking mechanism works great, I don't find myself a very big fan. I feel making the turrets a little stiffer with an audible click would be a better route to go. The illumination dial is very simple, very easy to use, and a decent profile, 0 through 6. But what's really cool about it is you can dial the brightness of the reticle or the center dot. Having the choice to pick which one best suits your needs at the moment is a great feature. So let's get your eyes behind the glass and see what this thing is really cracked up to be. First thing I'd like to add, and just a little bit of a disclaimer, the giant diopter ring in the rear, well, it's incredibly easy to grab with the beveled edge. The camera system I use to mount on the optic that shows you what I am shooting at. That diopter ring, it's just a little too large. And the camera sleeve that slides over the rear of the optic, well, I can't quite get it fully mounted on there. So while it's fine on 1 power, when you crank it up to 8, the sight picture, well, it really starts to look like a toilet paper roll. And unfortunately, that is a terrible misrepresentation of the optic and does the optic a serious disservice. It's especially prevalent here behind the glass. You can see how large that ring is and how much extra space it takes up. It doesn't actually affect any of your field of view whatsoever. It's all on the outside, not the inside. The 1 power and 8 power eye box and field of view is fantastic, and I'm going to try and show you that here. One thing that absolutely blew me away the first time I looked behind the optic was how incredibly vivid the sight picture is. The glass is so clear and so much light transition. It's very bright and everything is extremely rich in color. It's very difficult to explain, and it's even harder to convey with a camera and then upload it up to YouTube. While the footage you've seen in the series gives all of these optics an excellent idea of what you're going to be seeing if it was you yourself looking behind the glass. However, there's just that tiny bit of realism that simply cannot be displayed over a computer screen. And after editing all of these videos, it's especially prevalent here on the dual CC. The glass, it's just so rich, so crisp. It's like viewing your target in HD. Schmidt Bender did a fantastic job with this. So let's talk about the reticle. On the left side, you have your 1 power set on dual CC mode. On the right, we have it at max power, which is 8. On the right, you can start to see where the dual illumination can really start to show how good it can be. Not only do you have the center dot illuminated, but you have your elevation and windage illuminated as well. In low light conditions, this can really help. If you don't want the reticle to be illuminated, simply dial it the opposite direction and you will just have a center, crisp and bright dot. The left side is dual CC mode, which is the absolute base magnification of the optic. You can see just how bright that center dot is. It's fantastic because you can actually use this just like a red dot sight for ultra quick target acquisition. Now pair that with the very generous 116 feet field of view, well, you have an optic that is absolutely going to maximize your carbine's capability. Not to mention the dual focal plane reticle. That center dot on the right screen is the exact same size as it would be on dual CC mode. I really like this because that dot is extremely fine. Have you ever looked through a first focal plane optic and just thought, man, that dot is too large. It covers up too much of my target. Well, not with a dual focal plane reticle. That dot stays the same and it's extremely fine. I really like this because it's the difference to me between using the outside ring of the dot to center yourself on a very far away target versus the dot being small enough to actually know you are dead center. Dual focal plane LPVOs, plain and simple, make long range shooting and precise shots just a little bit easier. With all of this said, the Schmidt Bender Dual CC 1-8 has an MSRP of $5,500, the most expensive in the lineup. Is it the best LPVO of all time?
Well, you're gonna have to subscribe and see. We have 6 contestants in LPVO Battle Royal. We have Schmidt Bender, March, we have Leupold, Kahles, Nightforce, and Vortex. Which one is going to come on top? Which one is the best bang for your buck? King, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You aren't gonna wanna miss this series.